you guys had asked me once about, or several times, about investing. And I guess you kind of want to know how I got into investing and why I got into investing in stocks. Well, to begin with, when I got out of college, I made about $600, $700 a month. And I thought, man, that was pretty good. And I was married, and Monica was on her way. And, you know, we'd had her as a baby, little girl, about a year. And so no matter what I made, I thought then if I made $1,000 a month, I would be just king of the hill, which would have been $12,000 a year. But as it turns out that today, if you made $1,000 a month, the $12,000 a year, it would not be enough to live on. You need about $45,000 to live by yourself and to make things work. You might be able to do it less than that. You can ask Uncle Damon how to do that. He's pretty good about that. So one of the things that I had to deal with, being fresh out of college, got a job, making as good a money as I could make with my capabilities and my knowledge at Texas Instruments. And Oma and I were living in an apartment that cost $195 a month. Well, that apartment, with me making a little over $600 a month, was too much in relationship to the amount of money I brought home. So we had to do something. We had to take our budget and reshape our budget. And so we moved to a duplex on Sandra Drive, and that's when Monica was born, while we were living at Sandra Drive. And so we're living there, and this, instead of costing me $195 a month, it cost me $75 a month. So basically, you know, I saved $120 a month out of the budget by moving from one location to another location. It was not as nice as the new apartment, but it was nice enough, and we had a place to put our dog, and it was okay. It was in a good neighborhood, good enough neighborhood. But it still didn't work, you know. We reshaped our budget, and no matter what we did, when we saved money from the rent, we spent more money on food. When we saved money from the food by buying bulk, we spent more money on clothes. When we saved money there, we spent money somewhere else. It seemed like no matter what we did, how I cut back on money, on expenses, we always had something to come up. New tires, new brakes, dental work. When Monica was born, we didn't have health insurance, so I had to pay for her to be born and all those expenses. It just seems like no matter what I did, I could not get ahead. And so there I was, struggling in life with a college degree, going like, and my brother was saying, hey, you don't make any more money than I do. And he was working for the man on the dock. And I'm going like, yeah, that's right. But eventually I'm going to grow, and my money, I'm going to start making a whole lot more money than you. And as time went by, that is true. I did make a whole lot more money than my brothers. But anyway, back to that point, the budget. So no matter how much you make, it seems like in life, we will gravitate to use all of that to live off of. And so I kept consolidating. Then I even tried consolidating the debts that we had, put them all on one credit card instead of, or the bank note instead of a lot of credit cards. And all that happened was that Oma would go out and spend more on those credit cards. And so it just seemed like no matter what I did, I couldn't get ahead, no matter how much I tried. Even taking part-time jobs, I thought, well, I'll take a part-time job, and I'll use that part-time job to help us buy more things. What was happening, yes, we bought more things and we did more things, but we could never, ever save money to get to a house. We always seemed like we were struggling to get to a house, and that no matter what we did, the home price seemed to go up. As a matter of fact, Oma and I had looked at a house over there where your dad and his parents live, over in Richardson, Garland area. And matter of fact, we were looking on the same block. We didn't know them, but we were in the same 2 or 3 block area. But when we first looked at those homes, they costed like $15,000. By the time I accumulated some money to put the down payment on the home, the house had gone up to $25,000, $30,000. It was always out of reach. No matter what I did, everything seemed to be out of reach. No matter how hard I worked, no matter how many jobs I took, we always seemed to spend it, and everything was just out of reach, and we couldn't get there. And so one day, somewhere in the 70s, I decided that I needed to do something besides taking all these jobs, driving a cab and what have you, because they weren't paying off. We were just spending what I was making. It was a mindset. When you get in the mindset that you save your money, reduce your costs, and the money you make is going to do more for you, it doesn't seem to work. You have to figure out a different plan. That's what I kept telling myself. And so I thought about it. I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to invest in stocks. So I went to Merrill Lynch and I got me an account open. And to buy a stock back then, if you bought a stock, it would cost you $50 to buy it and then $50 to sell it. So to buy and sell a stock, it would cost you $100. So I didn't have much money, so I took $800 that I had and I bought a stock called World Airways. And I paid the $50, so it cost me $8 for the stock. I had to buy 100 shares, which meant it cost me $800, and I had to pay the $50 commission. So I spent $850 to buy this one stock, World Airways. And within a month, I got scared. I didn't know enough about the stock market, and I panicked. The stock had gone down from $8 to $7.50, so now it was only worth $750. And I panicked, and I sold the stock for $750, and I had to pay the commission another $50. So what it cost me, that experience, was the $50 commission on the front side, the $50 that I lost in the stock, and the $50 to sell it. So I ended up losing $150 on that stock. So it was an experience, and I didn't have any success at it. But I made my mind up that I was going to have money working for me. Because I knew that if I could make money in the stock market, or money working for me, then I could maybe get ahead. Because it didn't matter how much I spent my time working. It was taking more time away from my family and giving me less time to live and enjoy. Work. I needed to figure out another solution to our problem of being able to have enough money to buy a house and being able to get ahead in life. So I tried it again. And back then, every time you bought a stock, it would cost you money to buy the stock and cost you money to sell a stock. And so I started learning about diversification and buying stocks and holding them and dividends. And so over time, I made my mind up to buy good stocks and to just don't sell them. Time was important. And so I started accumulating stocks. And over time, I managed to, first thing you know it, I got quite a bit of money investing in the stock market. But Oma and I got a divorce, and so never really bought the house with her. But around the 80s, when I was by myself, I was able to buy a house and so forth and go on in life. But I had a change in my mind. The change was, don't spend everything you earn. Learn to invest in something to let the money come back. So take a piece of the money you make, put it in the stock market, put it in some other investment that would make money, and then eventually it would accumulate over time to where it makes enough money to where it really counts. So the secret was to continue adding money, small pieces, to the pot. Now you say, well, you can't get anything. Well, let me tell you how I did it. I've got to looking at going out to eat at McDonald's. So I could buy a Big Mac, fries, and a Coke, and it would cost me a couple bucks back then, okay? maybe $2.50, $3. So I got to thinking about it. Even though they package it together, I realized that if all I bought was the burger, I could drink water for free, and I didn't need the French fries, and so I wouldn't gain the weight. So I just started buying the burger, not the burger and the fries and the drink. So the burger cost me $1. So I saved $1.50. Well, if you do that for every meal, 3 meals a day, that would have been $3, $4 and something. And you do that every day of the year, that's over $1,200. $1,200 was more than I made a month, okay, at that time. So what you have to look at is this. Look at the things that you're spending, see what you can do without, accumulate the money. And what I did with the money is, instead of going buying something else, I invested it. That's the change in the mindset. Instead of buying something, I invested it, knowing that eventually I may spend some of it. But when I built my nest egg of money up far greater than anything I would spend or buy, I was then able to go buy things without killing the goose that laid the golden egg. I didn't destroy my nest egg. So now I learned that if I have enough money working for me, it can make me enough money to go buy something and only spend what it made for me, not the principal.